الصبر نور ويقين لله در الصابرين. نعم الأخي ولا تهن أبدا وعزمك لا يلين.
الصبر نور ويقين
لله در الصابرين. نعم الأخي ولا تهن أبدا وعزمك لا يلين.
قدر من الله مضى فابسم إذا حل القضاء، لن يضيق بك الفضاء فالله مولاك المعين.
قدر من الله مضى فابسم إذا حل القضاء، لن يضيق بك الفضاء فالله مولاك المعين.
الصبر نور ويقين
لله در الصابرين. نعم الأخي ولا تهن أبدا وعزمك لا يلين. الصبر نور ويقين لله در الصابرين. نعم الأخي ولا تهن أبدا وعزمك لا يلين.
انظر بلاء الأنبياء يسمو بهم نحو العلا، فبهم يكون الاقتداء نعم الهداة المهتدين.
انظر بلاء الأنبياء يسمو بهم نحو العلا، فبهم يكون الاقتداء نعم الهداة المهتدين.
الصبر نور ويقين
لله در الصابرين. نعم الأخي ولا تهن أبدا وعزمك لا يلين. الصبر نور ويقين لله در الصابرين. نعم الأخي ولا تهن أبدا وعزمك لا يلين.
الله يعلم ما يكون والأمر في كاف ونون، فلا تهب ريب المنون واذكر يوفى الصابرون.
الله يعلم ما يكون والأمر في كاف ونون، فلا تهب ريب المنون واذكر يوفى الصابرون.
الصبر نور ويقين
لله در الصابرين. نعم الأخي ولا تهن أبدا وعزمك لا يلين. الصبر نور ويقين لله در الصابرين. نعم الأخي ولا تهن أبدا وعزمك لا يلين. أبدا وعزمك لا يلين. أبدا وعزمك لا يلين.
الحمد لله رب العالمين، الصلاة والسلام على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. Dear brothers and sisters, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and welcome to Islamic Oasis. Today we actually have a very special guest and a very special topic. The topic: can Islam thrive on digital? Brother Chowdhury, Yusuf Chowdhury, he's a professional digital marketing consultant. That lot by itself. He's a coach, an instructor. He's been a frequent lecturer at colleges, universities. He discusses technology, all kinds of things that have to do with technology and how the usage of technology, whether it's for the dawah purposes, whether it's marketing, business, but being a Muslim, obviously there is a different touch to what he does, because he's seeing, he sees what happens, how the youth, for instance, uses technology, the different forms of technologies that we have, and who's doing what with it. So inshallah, this will be the discussion with somebody who's obviously an expert when it comes to these kind of things. So hopefully you guys share it, watch it with your kids, with your families. Parents need to watch it so that you know what goes on, what's going on, what you may not know. you are listening to an expert who does this for a living. So first of all, أخي أهلا وسهلا. Welcome to Islamic Oasis Live.
I know.
You were always on the other side.
I know. I just came from the south to the north, and you just guys grabbed me.
MashaAllah, tabarakallah. So Sheikh, I mean, look, I'm a parent.
Yeah.
You're a parent. You know, there's all there's Muslim parents out there who are watching this show. I mean, what don't we know here? What do we don't know?
A lot of things. A lot of things you guys don't know.
Okay, well, go ahead. Let us know, because we want to know. I mean, the especially when it comes to technology and when it comes to what kids are watching, what they're using. Look, we can't keep the kids in a box either, right? So what do we do here? I mean, just give me what this technology is doing, the good, bad, and the ugly.
Okay, well, first let's talk about some of the, not necessarily statistics, but some information, because there was a interesting, funny question that somebody asked. What should I do with TV at home? Should I remove the TV from home? I'm like, I don't know where you live, man, in a cave, because if you're talking about TV at home, your mobile devices is the TV now. So basically everybody, all of us, whether kids, children, old, young, we all carry a TV in our pocket. That's the first thing. And now with the technology that's been advancing, not like back in 30 years ago where every new technology comes like once a year, but now like almost every month. So we have mobile devices. All of us have access to it, right?
Yeah, of course.
Remember I talked about like in this, how many people have on this planet? 7 billion? Yeah, we have 7 billion.
Yeah, that was surprising. Go ahead.
Seven. We have 7 billion. Okay, 7 billion people on this planet. Okay, almost 7 billion. 7 billion people on this planet. 4 billion of the 7 billion have access to the internet. Okay, that's almost 70%. You can say that, right? I'm not
That's a huge number.
Huge number, right? Then of the 4 billion, 3.8 billion have mobile devices. I'm talking about a smartphone, not just the regular flip phones. Okay, so now you have 3.8, which is close to 4 billion, almost. Then you have another 4 billion that are active on social media channels. So when I talk about social media channels, I'm not just talking about Facebook and LinkedIn and YouTube and TikTok and Snapchat, and now you have Clubhouse. Heard of Clubhouse?
No, I don't know.
Started last year. It's an audio version of the social media. It's like having a conference call in an app.
Oh, interesting.
That's become very popular to a point that even
and the kids are using this.
Kids, well, yeah, of course, kids are using it, and also the business are using it too, right? But because of this, Clubhouse came in 2020, right, and it's become very popular. Twitter introduced their own version. So when you look at big companies like that, I mean, these are multi-billion-dollar companies. I mean, even with the Periscope that came in 2015, for example, when Periscope, which is another live streaming social media app, was becoming popular, Twitter bought them for $300 million. So I'm always researching, because that's part of my life in business, because I have to understand what's happening in digital so the client and the businesses can utilize it for the target audience, which are the customers. So a lot of crazy things happening. For example, in 2012, Google introduced the voice search system. So you open your browser, there's a microphone, so instead of typing, I'm going to talk to the browser.
Oof.
Right? That was in 2012. Yeah. When that thing came up,
oh jeez, I still didn't know.
when that thing came out, I did a class for small business and startup community, and it was funny because I was testing it. Hey guys, look at this thing. I'm going to test this. I'm going to say best dentist near me. So the browser opened up, best dentist near you was a female voice. Best dentist near you, not like my voice. Okay, and the results showed up. I said, okay, let me play with it a little bit. So I changed my accent. I said, dentist near me. Nothing came up. Google, you're racist. So at that time, the voice just coming up, right? Right now, if you wake up from your sleep and ask Google Voice, even if you're like crackling in your noise, it will give you the results. So the technology advanced. That's why you have Google Home, you have Alexa. Almost 30% of the American household, you're talking about among the 350 million people, 30% of them use these two devices. They talk to it. The new mobile, the new cars have a voice search system. The refrigerator, the appliances, they all use voice. Most of your app has microphone option on. That's why when me and Brother Shirazi here talk about Heinz ketchup, suddenly there's an ad popping up on YouTube and social media because those companies are running it, and your voice basically detected. Make sense? Now going back to the good and the bad. The good thing, there is an overload of information. So the majority of the people right now, they use mobile device, they watch video on demand. Even the podcast became very popular, even though podcast is not new. Podcast was there more than a decade.
But I mean, the interviews.
Yeah, the reason it became popular, why? Because people are demanding now. They don't want to wait for the show. They're busy, they have life, they have other thing going on. I'm going to decide when I'm going to listen to. If it comes live, I'll wait because it stays, then they're going to go back and watch it later. That's the beauty of the podcast. Okay,
so hold on, let's break this down for me. So you're saying that, look, the good thing about this thing is you are giving access to people at multiple platforms,
multiple ways,
yes. Different times, different countries, different cities, different
yes.
Wherever there is online, you're there.
Yes.
So you can be anywhere, and it's saved, and you can get not at multiple different times and days and months, wherever. I can go back in a year and I can still check it out.
Exactly. Not just that. Now we have no excuse. We have no excuse to say, you do remember back like 20 years ago, oh, we have to talk to the public TV station, we have to talk to this TV station, they will not let us. You have the platform. You can do it. Now, can they control it? Of course they can control it. That's why we have this concept of cancel culture, so-called freedom, right? Because whatever they don't like, they can actually shut you down. That happens too. So that's why.
I mean, cancel culture, the culture shuts you down, or is it?
No, the elite.
Shuts you down? The elite.
Whoever runs the country, whoever makes the law, it's a man-made law, they can change it any time.
Okay, so now going back to, let's say, because, man, we were talking about this before the show, that it seems like if you're going to have to educate our children, you made that, what did you call it? Educatement, right? I mean, with technology, are we losing the minds of our children?
Yeah.
Or are we losing? What are we losing here?
I'm going to talk on myself.
Yeah.
It's been more than 20 years. I haven't did this writing.
Oh, wow.
The only writing goes to my signing a check or a receipt. That's it. Why? Because I'm used to typing or I'm talking. Even though the technology kind of help in a sense make you like extra convenient, but at the same time makes us like lazy. I'm so used to the phone that if the GPS doesn't work, I'm lost.
Yeah.
But
so mindlessness.
It is, because now we're not used to the common sense anymore. So I don't know what's the east and west, because I'm used to it too much. So there's an advantage. Yes, easy access, easy of use. Look, I can order a maid to come to my house and clean the house. I can order prep meal food. I can order laundry. Everything is on demand. I can order even grocery. I don't have to go to Walmart, Target, and H-E-B. I can just go on an app. Hey, I need all this grocery. It will come to me. So in one way, yes, technology is making it easy. For example, there are companies right now that offer services where, let's say you have a Coca-Cola warehouse, Pepsi, or Amazon warehouse. They need somebody to work for like 6 hours. Like right now, $25, $30. They post it on this app, and you're gonna click yes, I want to. You're gonna go. You're gonna make $200 in one day. That's beneficial for you, because with Uber technology, with the Lyft, and all these so-called share riding concept, Postmate and DoorDash, you have no excuse to say I cannot make money. Now you can make money.
But see, okay, you cannot make money. I didn't want to go there yet. But the thing is, even with this issue, we cannot make money. But that you're talking about people who have access to digital or have access to technology. Yeah. But then, what population does really have access to it? So I mean, because there's also that where unskilled workers, people who don't know how to go to even Google or even check their
Have
email.
You heard of adulting? Sounds funny, right? The word adulting?
No, I haven't.
Okay,
no.
I have a client that actually teach high school kids and college kids how to open a can of sardine, how to iron the clothes, how to do basic thing at home.
Wow.
Yeah.
Because that's what we're okay.
It's called adulting. What adulting?
Because Google doesn't do that.
Well, here's the thing. People ask me a question and I Google.
I'm saying, is there within the populations? Is there a gap now where there are certain people, because of what is allowed, the amount of technology that's out there, they know how to use it, they have access to that, but then those who don't, what happens to that part of society?
Well, you'll be surprised that even people that are at the age of 50 and 60, they're actually now using it.
Okay.
They're learning it because they have no option. They have to learn it. Now the danger is this: because of the mobile device, that unfortunately some of the parents give the mobile device to their kids when they're even like 6.
Yeah.
I don't know why they do that. If you don't have an app that controls what kind of content your kid gonna see, akhi, I'm telling you, anything is accessible. Anything. Good content, bad content, and there's no filter. Even if you go to Twitter, type certain words, it's not filtered. So now this young mind exposed to information is like beyond belief. I cannot relate to the kids nowadays, because when I was at that age, let's say even when I was a teenager, when I found something, it messed up my mind, right? But it wasn't like I'm looking for it, right? But now the kids have access to this thing.
So they know, they literally sit down, go and access that,
Yes.
watch it, consume it.
Yes.
Okay, so
And did you know that the
but
Vine?
see, now let me ask you this though. I mean, because the topic is Islam and the
Right.
digital age. What? So now the kids are watching this, right? With all of these platforms out there on technology, right? All kinds of technology.
Yeah.
How? What strategy can you use to get the youth, the Muslims in general, to watch something that is productive and learn about their deen, or is that even not possible anymore?
Well, from the way that I see it over the years, the way we approach, let's say, the Islamic content, unfortunately, how can you take serious content under 7 seconds? Because that's your.
So you have to get rid of 90% of it.
That's the short attention span. Look, TikTok, for example, is like very short. The trick behind TikTok, you watch it, is very quick and very short, but TikTok keep giving you another 20 seconds. So what happens? You become addicted. In fact, in the American Psychiatric Association, they basically said right now that TikTok or social media is a form of psychological mental illness now, because some teenagers saw of an influencer who had anorexia, and they forced themselves to be anorexic.
Because that's the way to be.
Yes.
That's the thing.
So because, like you said, the dumbing down of the mind, and you will see a lot of crazy. If you go to TikTok, you see a lot of crazy stuff. You'll be like, "What the heck? Am I living in Mars in a cocoon?" People are putting the content by themselves. Now, can there be an entity that through whatever they can do it too? But naturally, most of them are regular folks, so they're exposed to this thing, and there's no guidance, right?
I mean, is this that look with all of this thing that's out there, right? The Muslims are losing this battle of Islamicizing, at least let's say, our kids, and trying to bring Islam to our kids. Is it because we have no authority to manage what's out there, or is the fault of technology?
It's not the fault of, because technology is a tool like any other tool. Like the TV is a tool, right? It can have good content, it can have bad content. I think what happened over the years, this is for parents, Muslim and non-Muslim, we ignored the technology. We ignored it. We thought, just an internet, I don't know how to use it, not a big deal. Ask my son, ask my daughter, they know. But we did not spend time to understand what is in this technology, how this technology works. If we spend time to understand it, then you would know. Because right now, I don't want to say give a negative concept, it's too late. It's not too late, but a parent needs to understand how all these apps work. Your kids, give them your phone. What's in there? What's in your phone? Tell them, let me see what is this app, and understand it. Because if you don't understand how it works, you cannot advise them. But I'm telling you, akhi, there are kids like really, really young. I'm talking about from 6 all the way to a teenager. They have way more access to information than us, adult. And we are the one who look like, duh, what's happening? First of all, you gave him the phone, or you gave her the phone.
So, what solution here is not give them the phone?
No, and we can't.
I mean, I look. There's only with my kids. Let's say it's okay. My daughter, I give her very specific. I know exactly what's there.
Yeah, and you can actually.
To tell you the truth, everything is monitored. Everything
there you go.
Is that? But even that is usually only to, let's say, text. Where are you? At work? That's it. I mean, it's very, monitoring what's going on. But let me ask you this though. I mean, is technology, what is it doing to us, man? What kind of, if we are not, when we wrote things down, it built our minds, right? It built us. It's something it has to structure our thoughts. To structure, to read something,
Yeah.
and then to put those, develop some type of thought process and put it on paper, and then to see whether what I'm saying, none of that is happening. So minds are not being built. I mean, look, so what happens to this generation? They have access to all this technology, but then they don't have access to their own minds.
So what happened right now, because these are where the youth, the young, and the adult use this device to look for this information. The mistake that none of us should do when it comes to Islam, for example, is not to try to dumbify the content.
But then no one watches it.
It's not to demify it, but what you have to do, like if somebody, for example, let's say, how can I attract the youth? If I know somebody who's an animator, right, or they have an interesting content that they watch, that they like it, okay, we can see that, why they like this, and we can use the animation, not to necessarily put all the information, just to spike the interest. Spike the interest. Let's say if I can put everything under 10 seconds, what can I put under 10 seconds to spike the interest? Then from that interest, gradually bring them in if you want to watch more, because it cannot be forcing. It has to be something like you giving them the permission. If you want to watch more, here's more. Unfortunately, now we came to a situation that we have to look at others, so-called, when I say successful, I don't mean successful from the terms of like, from our perspective, I'm seeing successful in terms of numbers, in terms of like why they're sharing it, why they're talking about it.
Why are people watching this?
Watching, yeah. And at the same time, don't look at the number exactly. So when people say, oh, this video has 1 million views, that actually means nothing even in business. Because those million could be a bot. It could be ad. And here's the thing, because we live in a secular capitalist society, because the capitalist system, you have to make sure that people is always busy. So advertiser can pump money. They can pump all this stuff. When you watch the TV, don't you see the freaking ad every few minutes on regular TV? Which, by the way, nobody watches TV these days. Why? They went here. And what happened? When they went here, Facebook had no ad before. YouTube had no ad before, and now they're using ads. So I actually help my clients how to
day and night. You get more ads than anyone.
I teach them how to. Well, actually, I run the service too. I create an ad for the target audience. So let's say if I'm interested in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, my age, where I live, what location, I can have an ad targeted to me. And because I'm interested in it, that's why I'm clicking on it. Does that make sense? So when it comes to the content for the youth or for the Muslim in general, first of all, we have to think this way, that because of so many garbage against Islam, and you have some Muslim that have content that is very popular, we can look at those problems, but we cannot always criticize it for the sake of criticizing. I look at, okay, this is a good problem, this is a good problem, okay, what can we do? One thing is that you make the plan, you make the research, you come with the strategy, you take action, because taqwa comes from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, everything comes from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, right? You take the action and not just wait, you have to research it. Okay, I made this content, I'm going to see what happens in 1 month, but I'm going to analyze it. I'm going to constantly analyzing it to make sure that what makes it click, what makes it conversational. So for example, there are some tools called like answerthepublic.com. I want to see if I type the word Sharia, for example, what's the popular question pops up within the search, because people are searching. So the tool will tell me, okay, these are the popular questions. I click on it. Okay, what kind of content shows up? Okay, some positive, some negative, some positive. Now I can take the same question and write a content based on that. Why? Because people are already searching for it.
But isn't that limiting them? I mean, isn't that exactly what they want to? I mean, because
of course.
I mean, I'm looking at this thing that's and there's like everybody's asking the same question, and that could be misleading. And actually, it is right, because now you're only focusing on what people want to know, or how somebody wants this direction to go a certain way.
I understand, you are right, but the thing is to do what I said better than not doing anything. Because if you want to shoot an arrow in the sky to hope something happens, that's not going to work either. Does that make sense? Your objective is not to, even though you did the research and you saw this direction that they're going into it, but your main plan, okay, I'm going to use the same interest, but bring them back to what I want them to learn. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because it's like basically when you sell a product, if there's no audience for it, it doesn't matter how many times you dance on the street to tell people to buy from you. So that's why research is very important. So when we see online, what do the youth watch? What do the adult watch? What kind of content they watch? So now I can come with my own information on it, because here's the thing. Human nature are very curious. So when I do a search on YouTube or on TikTok or on Google, and all these topic comes up for a similar question, I'm going to watch 2 videos have the same question, but the third one, the opposing views for that actually piques interest. Human being by design, they're going to click on, why this is different. Why this video says something different? Well, let me click on it. Now, we wouldn't know that this is going to happen until you take the action. Then
To have an opposite video of this.
then you are going to use the data to see what's happening. What I mean by that, you have to set up the analytics, how many clicks coming, where they're coming from, are these real, are these not real?
I mean, so you're saying, I mean, let's say
I'm talking for like as a Muslim organization that wants to, not just for like regular folks like you and me.
They have to have all kinds of,
Yes.
we have to, well, I mean, we want to be there too, but see, but
Because
okay, Muslim youth, what's the future here? Okay, I realize what you're saying. Okay, look, the kids are watching, let's say, anime, and they're watching all kinds of stuff.
all
like
kinds
that.
of stuff, yeah.
Okay, so we don't have that. I mean, we have
You have to
neither
work-
in the Islamic history
you have to-
side.
you have
I
to
mean,
work-
we have still people are still watching Muhammad Fatih, which was produced 20 years ago. We don't have. So we are.
That's
That's
a very good question, but you have to work with what you have. If you don't have it, khalas, I don't have it, but I gotta work with what I have, or with what I can provide. Like for example, this channel here, right? You're putting this content, you're bringing all these, mashallah, shuyukh and scholars and people of knowledge, and you're discussing, you're even having the youth involved. That's a start. But when you do that, you don't want to do it al hamish, yani just for the sake of doing it. You still have to go back, ask the team, okay, guys, this month, where it was shared. And when it comes to the number, I advise a lot of clients to look for comments, to look for who is sharing it, what is the comment, what is the question, what is the conversation. And sometimes you have to be proactive. What I mean by that, you have to go to all the other so-called Islamic content creators. You engage with them, you share it, you put a comment, you're proactive. Because if you want this deen, the message to be reached, it cannot be an easy task. There has to be a lot of team, a lot of effort put into place, and you have to be very patient. You have to be very consistent, especially consistency. Then, inshallah, Allah will make it happen. Because there's no such thing as viral marketing. Viral marketing, a lot of these so-called viral video happens because most of them are really kind of silly, stupid. That doesn't mean you're going to do the same thing. You're looking for quality of the so-called listeners. When you go back and look at the youth, okay, the youth are like remember back in the day when I came here. I did a session for the youth right in the front, and you guys were even shocked because I asked the kids a couple of questions, and I throw some names of YouTubers and different social channels, and these kids, they raised their hands. Even the parents didn't know what was happening. They have access to it. If they do have access to it, we need to figure okay, what made it interesting for them.
Okay, let me ask one other question here. Look, when I see a lot of youth, when we talk to the youth,
because you work with them a lot, alhamdulillah.
Yes, so and the youth, they'll say that look, a lot of the topics that they watch, unfortunately, it has to do with desires. It has
human
to do
nature.
with human nature. Okay, well, it has to do with a lot of things that it's part of the instincts, right? So, no matter what, I mean, there's certain things that are on that that is just going to grab more attention than, let's say, the haqq, like understanding why I exist, why. But man, I mean, do you see the danger of this too, even in the future, right? The dangers of, I mean, for instance, I'll give you an example, another one. I mean, now the CPS here, the schools, last night they canceled because of COVID. And then they said next day, like today, a lot of kids are not even on remote. I think from tomorrow they're going to start remote. Now, technology is being used to educate those kids. The problem here is that the kids themselves are not studying. They were not getting an education when they were actually going to school. Now they're in front of a laptop, acting like they're doing something, but they're not even studying. So, technology is there. You're able to do this. But then your future, what kind of future? I mean, I tell the kids here, just let me know, make sure to tell me if you're going to be a doctor in a certain hospital, I'm not coming.
You know why?
Because I see the quality of your education.
You know why the kids are not doing it? Even the adult is not working properly on from home either, because there's one human element.
I mean, I've heard that it's actually they're becoming more productive.
No, not really. In some companies, in some companies actually like even Twitter, they decided to have everybody work from home, even Facebook. But some of them, they themselves are not used to the human element. What is the human element? Social.
Okay.
Social. That's the human element. I mean, have you heard of co-working spaces? Right, it's a place where geeks
People
and
go,
startup hang to. There are people that have no relationship with nobody. Just the environment itself
Everybody's working.
helps you because that's part of the fitrah. To be on the screen 24/7, dude, they're already on the screen.
Yeah.
So now you're gonna put this thing which is boring, right? They're not gonna. That's what's happening. That's what the kids. That's what the kids don't want. It is not helping them actually, because if the adult are not used to it, like myself and a couple other businesses, yes, we do a lot of work online, we do a lot of training online. For us, it's okay, right? But the general population, they're not used to it. They leave home for a reason, so they can escape.
Is there going to be huge gaps between how people understand things?
Of course, there's gonna be a gap. In fact,
And how they understand things, and what they have access to, and how much money they make.
Sadly, the majority, the amatan nas, the common people, unfortunately, are sheep. Let's just be honest. You talk about the instant gratification, right? The desire. That's easy to grab and test. Do you know what happened during this so-called pandemic in the 2 years? You know what happened to the statistics?
No.
Okay, the first thing is this.
Entertain me.
Okay, the number one, the number one, where people spend minimum 8 hours a day online. You know what it was? YouTube.
8 hours a day.
8 hours a day minimum.
Minimum.
I thought it was Netflix. No, it was YouTube.
Wow.
Then second thing, songs. And I thought, oh, this is an opportunity. People at home, log into the internet, working from home, I can do educational stuff, right?
Yeah,
Education was way down. Learning something new was way down. Entertainment was the top 5.
Yeah.
Why? Because people are depressed. They want to just doze off, right? Then someone in the middle, the positive thing that happened, the fitness, the workout, the cooking food. There's some positive. Now,
More people spending time at home.
yes, because now they're cooking, they're learning, they're fit. So that's what happened. But when everything opened, they bounced back to their old habit. In fact, the theater system, they were trying to actually close all the theater. But some theaters said, no, we can't do that. We have to test the market. So you have Hulu on demand, beside Netflix, beside now you have Paramount Picture, you have Apple TV, you have Facebook TV, by the way.
Oh.
They're testing the on-demand market to see, are people going to be completely off the theater and just only on demand? That's what we're testing. So, but recent statistics shows, no, actually people still want to go out. Why? Because of social element. Now, in the future, will everything going to be on demand? I think so. But I don't think we're there yet. Because the part of the fitrah, I mean, look at the theater. Actually, in Texas, the theater is packed.
More people will be depressed.
Oh, yeah.
Because they are alone.
Yeah.
I mean, somebody can just sit at home. He doesn't have to go anywhere at all.
Not just...
He can order things from outside. He can do this. He can do that. He'll just sit home and he'll just work for a company. He's making money.
Yeah, but he's not going to be happy.
But he has nothing.
Nothing. And not just that. In fact, the funny thing that these so-called influencers that has a lot of followers, they themselves are depressed. In fact, the guy who sold Minecraft for like, I don't know, 2 billion to Microsoft, right? And he built a mansion, everything, but he said, I'm the most loneliest person, even though he was among all these so-called celebrity, but he was still alone.
Loneliness.
Yes, because technology, akhi, I mean, alhamdulillah, we have the deen, and even if you're alone, you know, Allah is there. You can always do, you know, the Hajj and the Quran that will make you not be alone, you know. But people in general, the human element, you cannot take it out. But in the Kabbalah system, right, it's all about what? The maximum profit. It's all about how can I make you brainwashed so I can sell you anything I want. I can sell you anything. So to keep the people busy.
Hold on. How dangerous is this for the youth, for the kids? I mean, we already have some crazy, you know, statistics when it comes to suicide rates and drug usage and sexual harassment and rape and all this stuff that's going on and all.
And cyberbullying too.
Cyberbullying and all that. So what? So you have adults who are well in their adulthood and they're depressed.
Yeah.
I mean, they have the money, but not sure what to do with whatever they have.
Well,
that's one thing. But I mean, you keep that in mind. You can answer that. But second, the youth who already are in many, there's mindlessness.
Yeah.
The mind is already not prepared to think and was not thought to think. And then you have this where everything is just being given to you. Yeah. So
constantly.
What, I mean, has technology helped us is society declining, or are we talking about some type of progress?
It's not the tool, it's not the technology. Right now, if you look at the technology, who controls the technology? Who pumps the who pumps the content?
Okay.
The system that we're living in. So the answer actually, because we're not under the system of Islam, that's why we have all these problems. This problem is not just it's for humanity actually. The system that have influence using this technology, whatever technology they create, has to come up with an idea. They have a concept in life, right? They have a belief system in life. They have an aqidah, a viewpoint on life. And based on that viewpoint, they're going to make these things. And like I said, all these technology right now, I mean, technology is a tool. Technology is not bad. But who controls it? What they push? How they use it? And how we as a consumer are sucking in. What kind of information we're sucking in all the time. We're allowing ourselves. Right now, the youth don't even know who they are. You know, people say, I'm he and she and it and die, and they can't even say the difference within the gender.
How much do you think atheism, I mean, however you want to answer this, but, the idea that people are leaving Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, or just the idea that people are becoming atheists, this huge percentages all of a sudden that we're seeing in the last 5 years.
Because the easy access.
Easy access to what?
To all this content. Even the atheistic content.
No, but okay, so
because people are searching, there's a difference.
So does that mean people are reading, they are thinking, but they don't have access to the right things? Or what is the... I mean, look, you're saying people are reading, right? Which means, I mean, even to become this whatever atheist, he had to sit and read and somehow convince himself of whatever he's reading. So it's not that the people are not reading and not thinking that.
Well, right now they don't read too much. It's like they read beam. They see a picture with an image. That's what they see right now. They take small information from tidbits, and if I'm going to look for something, even accidentally, if I see something, if I click on it, the algorithm going to show me more. In fact, the algorithm understand my behavior now.
So it's going to take you more and more towards being atheist.
So I can sell it to you.
Hold on.
Even if somebody click on Islamic content, yes, the algorithm going to show Islamic content.
Okay.
Because Islamic content has advertising. They sell the product too. Company has to make money. Do you understand what I'm saying? But these are the symptom of the system that we are in. The system is huge. The system has bigger hold on this stuff. We have to realize that. You understand what I'm saying? I'm talking about like there's a system, there's an aqidah that controls these things. That's a main challenge. If you Muslims don't realize that the only solution, not just this technology, because right now we're focusing on what? Band-aid. Oh, how can I fix this? But there's a bigger issue than that. We'll go on a different subject. But the point is, we have to realize that, as I mentioned, the technology is not bad, but the content that is put out there, we have access right now that we can put those content. But we have to research. We have to ask the Ahl al-Dhikr, like people that do digital marketing online, they know the programming, we know these people are expert in those areas. We can approach them, we can ask them. I'm talking about the Muslim one, like how this thing work. Can you build an app that does this? Can we make another tool for this? Can you do an AI, artificial intelligence? Here's another thing. Just a few weeks ago, I was advising some of the programmers back in San Antonio that, guys, guess what? The AI, it's a new thing right now. You have to learn the artificial intelligence, because half of your programming projects gonna be AI based. So with the change, you have to learn. When I talk about the voice, everything is voice enabled now, right? So the reality shows, yes, we have access to all kinds of information, good and bad. If you want to help the youth in certain matter, okay, the youth watch this sort of thing, and you cannot tell them not to watch it. You can tell them, don't watch this, they're gonna watch it.
I understand that. So let me ask you this: are the Muslims, where are we going wrong, man? I mean, look, in order to be able to produce this type of content, you need people who are interested in Islam, who want people to watch this type of content. You are saying, hey, this is important. We got to figure out all kinds of ways to bring this to you. But then on the other side, you don't have the mindsets that are needed to properly put that out there. So, and then you have, all kinds of everything else around, right? You have ulama who are entertaining, people who just want to talk about whatever.
Debates and whatnot.
It's just because time waste, whatever it is. But then, so what do we need to do here? What's the balance here? You need people who know what they're talking about. You need people who know actually how to think, because they're becoming the few,
Yeah.
right? Because it's just so much mindlessness out there. So what do we do? Have you ever thought about this? I'm not saying you have a solution now,
no,
but I'm saying
I do, because you see the problem is, of course, every problem we speak, we have to have a solution for it, right? We have to be solution oriented. I mean, it can start from home. It can start from the parents. If the parents not doing their job, now the kids out there are looking for it. They're looking for this content. So when we do the research, okay, what
so
kind
from your research, they're youth what looking for this?
yeah, because when you do a research on, let's say, for example, Google will basically give you all the information about what people are typing, like what are they typing on Google, to what kind of content they look for. I can pick Chicago area, and let's just say type I don't know, again, BGJ. It will tell me how many million in Chicago typing several key phrases, and it will give me an idea what kind of content showing up. So these information like this is helpful because it gives an idea that I'm not just putting a content because I want to put it for the sake of putting it. People are already looking for it, so why not use this information and put it so my audience that you want to target can find it, or the algorithm gonna make them find it.
Let's see if there are any questions. Are there any questions out there? I mean, I'm sure we have. Okay, let's take some questions here, because there's questions that are coming in here.
I see that Jeremiah said you still use checks sometime, bro. Jeremiah, he's from San Antonio.
MashaAllah, you still use checks. Okay, well.
Okay, so Steve Jobs.
He's still not up with the system yet.
So Brother Ahmed said that Steve Jobs denied giving his kids iPhone. Yeah, that's true.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Ahmed said it is convenient to parents to give their kids digital device so keep them busy. Wallahi, that's true.
It is convenient to parents, so they just give. So I mean, let me ask you this: is how much of this has to do with? Look, here's I'm gonna lay it out something, right? Okay, so you have a situation where you have kids now who are already, let's say, they there's no objective, they don't know what to do, so they're already in many ways they have no goals, no objectives, so that means they are irresponsible.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, nowadays what we find is that parents themselves are irresponsible. Okay. I mean, in many ways, children are more responsible than parents. I'm seeing this.
Have you sat in the restaurant, the family restaurant? Have you seen what they're doing?
No.
You see the mom and dad and the kids, all of them on their phone.
Yeah, everybody, and then they're sitting in front of. I understand that, but so now, this thing where parents are saying, okay, here's the phone, just be busy. Okay. Yeah. So what happens now, man? I mean, when you have parents themselves irresponsible already, the children have no one to tell them what to do, so they're irresponsible. The next generation
is going to be a cycle. It's going to be the same thing, because that's what the kid learned. If I was given the phone and I had no responsibility, right? And look, and I know, when kids grow, they do change. They do mature based on
whatever it is that they're watching.
Yeah, whatever they're watching. But that cycle is going to continue. For example, people don't even know how to use the regular phone because they haven't seen one. Yeah. Right? So this is a generation that, like, for their third and fourth, it's going to, the way I see it, there could be some sort of, not necessarily thinking, because nobody talks about the thinking. The thinking of the mind, nobody did discuss that subject anywhere. I haven't seen anyone online that talks about how to think. What is thinking? What is mind?
That's something
I haven't seen
just
that yet.
Wait a few weeks, you'll get something.
So okay, if it's not there, then we have to find out the subject of the mind, what people look for when it comes to mind, what kind of content out there, what kind of question they ask. Okay, I can take the same question and twist it a little bit. Then now I'm going to talk about something a little bit different, because in Google algorithm, what Google does like this: if all of us here in this room talk about the mind the same way, Google's going to pick one, because Google don't want to show the same result multiple times for the same exact material. Because as a user, I'm going to be fed up. Why do you write this exactly the same content? I want something a little bit different. So when you write something in the same subject a little bit differently, the algorithm can pick it up, and whoever's searching for it, there's a chance that they can see it and read it. You understand what I'm saying? But that subject of thinking, I haven't seen anybody properly explain what is thinking, how to think, right? How to analyze. Let's see. There's
questions.
Let's see here. The Ahmed says, "Where is family?"
He's reading it right here.
Yeah, what is family time we spend with our kids? Okay, so I'm Yum Yum the podcast. You should bring this brother to the show. But the Sadiq, he's crazy.
Is he up there?
Yeah, he's up here.
Why not? We'll
gotta teach the kids hate. Okay, he's talking about like hate for the sake of Allah.
Al-wala wal-bara.
Yes, that's what he meant. I know it sounds like you know what it means. This guy Marlon, What is that? Okay. So Amu said a dawah carrier takes the popular question people want and share it towards what they need.
What does that mean?
Yeah, what does that mean, man? Okay, so
expound on it a little bit.
Yeah, can you elaborate? Yeah, Ammu. Let's see. Brother Umar said that brother has definitely a point. We need to find the balance on what topics we on what topics popular.
Look, on just that issue, right? I mean, when we're talking about the topics that are being chosen, I mean, topics are being chosen by people who are already mindless.
Yeah.
So, dude, look.
So the one who thinks they're not looking for it.
Are we are okay. So, which means, is our job becoming tougher and tougher?
It is becoming tougher.
And Islam, so and the da'wah for Islam, is it becoming more and more entertainment only?
Information.
Okay.
Information only.
I mean,
like a CD, it's information. The information out there.
I mean, what's the relationship between entertainment and information?
Okay, entertainment, it's like, well, education, they call it education because it's educational, but it's at the same time entertaining. Because why? Have you heard of a Pomodoro effect or Pomodoro? Basically, in my work, what I do, I spend 25 minutes, exactly 25 minutes, just focus on work, right? After 25 minutes,
you can't concentrate.
I put 5-minute break,
right?
Then go back. Same thing. So what the research shows that when you sit in a lecture,
more productive. Right?
Your mind after 30 minutes shuts down. You start to doze off. So the technique was, if you take like 25 or 30 minutes, focus 100%, then 5 to 10 minute break, then come back, then 5 to 10 minute break, and come back, you can get a lot of information in. Or the two-way communication. Because the both because the both mind is working.
But even this is not happening, bro.
No, well, I think there are some out there. There are many podcasts of the Muslim.
I mean, podcast is one thing.
And YouTube,
in general, masses. The kids are not going to schools. Everybody's sitting at home. Kids are parents are on their own laptops.
Kids not going to watch this because I tell my daughter, she's like, "You guys are boring." So okay. So, but with the kids, we have to understand what kids. If you want to target the kids, I'm talking about like, let's say 8 to 15. If you want to target them, first you have to understand their mindset. Okay. But not necessarily dumbify to the level, because right? You understand what they like. Okay, then how can I use some of the information within Islam, then bring them back to the thinking process? Because you cannot force them to think because they're not thinking in the first place. In fact, let's be honest, most adults don't think. We're just consuming. I'll be honest, we're just consuming. Nobody taught us how to think. What is aql? How can we use? In the secular universities, like in Western university teach about critical thinking, analysis, difference of opinion, discussion. Amazing, right? Amazing. As soon as I try to discuss the contradiction of their own thought, they get all triggered, right? That's fine. But the point is, nobody teach how to think, so everyone start to make up their own. See, so the situation is, yes, when the challenge is so complicated and it's difficult, that's not a bad thing, because it forces you
to be creative.
To be creative. Because things that are easy doesn't mean it's good. Things that are challenging, okay, that there's some effort put into this place, and it makes me to think about the solution. And that doesn't mean the solution going to work. That's why we have to try once and twice and three, but with a calculated risk. Does that make sense? So this is what's happening right now. So the parents, like the brother said, the parents are not involved, so we can talk to the parents. Maybe some content, talk to the parents, for example. Have them also involved. You, as a one person, cannot do everything. There has to be a collective work.
Yeah,
right?
Of course. No,
let's go to some of the questions real quick.
Next question, Sheikh.
Let's see right here.
You have a question there.
Let's see. Omar, brother has definitely a point. We need to find the balance on what topics are popular versus what messages we want to convey. Ahmad said, how Muslims use technology to benefit from? Islam is a good product. How Muslims use technology to benefit from? I don't know if that's a question or it's a comment.
So how Muslims use technology to benefit? Well, I think you were talking about that.
Yeah, because nowadays, so for example, here's the thing. People actually go to Quran YouTube channels because they want to listen to Quran. They want to learn Arabic, for example. And it's free and it's accessible. People watch Muslim debating, and these are popular content because that's what they want, and we're giving it to them. But the problem after we given it to them, we are not taking that opportunity to make.
But hold on, this whole debates are becoming so famous. Is it because people, they want to see some type of they themselves are not communicating because they've been cooped up in this whatever so they like two people to just kind of put something out there so they can see communication. I mean, what is going on, man?
Well, if you look at the YouTubers, if you go back 10 years ago, a lot of the popular names in the YouTube, they are not there anymore because it becomes plateau. So you do the same content over and over and over and over. Most of them are gone. Most of them went back to zero.
Yeah, because
right?
Because I mean, that's also the issue of how long people are able to keep up. And things are changing so fast.
And because things are changing, like for example, in my business, I always pay attention to the new data, the new resource, and actually anything new that comes in, I have my team test it, analyze it, and look at the market. Whatever the market does, I gotta advise my clients, hey, this is a new thing, this was happening, the old thing might hurt you, let's go and switch it. So this is from a business perspective. But sometimes we don't even think like that in terms of putting the Islamic content out there. Majority of us, whether Muslim content creator or non-Muslim content creator, they just put stuff, which is not bad, but they think, okay, I'm just gonna be famous, I'm just gonna be popular because I saw somebody else doing it. So they're taking it to the extreme level. But that's not the case, because everything is temporary. Yes, you might become famous, but eventually you're gonna go down. Then what's the plan B? What was the objective? So right now, when you have the Muslim creator talks about debate, my question to you is that the issue with the debate, one of you has to prove who's going to win.
Right.
There's no thinking.
But is this because there's no vision?
There's no vision.
There's no vision.
And plus, like you talk about, we don't teach Muslim thing because nowadays we allow, directly or indirectly, we allow the ulama to think for us. Have you seen any conversation?
So the ulama, okay, so now we have another dilemma. We
of
already
course.
have a whole nation that ulama is doing the thinking for them.
Yes.
And then now, even the ulama we lost, and now technology is doing the thinking for them.
Well, the ulama actually, not all of them, but let's say the majority, don't teach the Muslim how to think. The ulama tell the Muslim, X, Y, and Z, you follow this. I tell you this. Qala this. Don't ask this.
That's it.
And we became numb. When it comes to dunya matters, oh yeah, crypto, this and that, and we can think and do everything about it. But when it comes to the deen, we don't think anymore. But here's the thing, before
Last question, there's a question here. Last one. Salam, brother. I was watching a video where a historian was suggesting there be a counterculture in the next generation. There would be a counterculture in the next generation against this antisocial behavior we see today. Would love your thoughts.
Yeah, of course, because when things goes plateau, there has to be counter. I mean, look at what's happening nowadays, even in US.
Cycle.
Yes, that's part of nature of life. Here's the thing. In America alone, in the US, 80% of the population in this country, they spend minimum 6 hours a day on the internet.
Yeah.
Okay?
Wow.
So before we end this, when you look at the technology, you have access to it. There's an opportunity for a lot of sincere brothers to put the information out there. My nasiha, look, I'd rather have you put the information out there, because if you don't, how can we access it? Even the few. You see, I personally don't care about numbers. I'm looking for quality, right? Because we already 2 billion Muslims. Are we doing anything for the ummah? Nothing. Let's be honest, we're not doing anything. We are so focused on the individual, work on yourself, which you can do that till Yawm al-Qiyamah. But when it comes to radical change, we don't do that. The non-Muslim are doing it within their own aqidah, within their own system. They are doing it.
Yeah, I mean, constantly there's changes happening. Radically changes.
But we're not doing that, right? So Islam can thrive
because they have an ideological perspective.
They do.
We have none.
And
we are just following sheep.
They're intellectual too.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. But right now with this,
because we left our ideology in somewhere, some books.
That's another thing. So with this technology, yes, Islam can thrive because there's an opportunity. You have the access. I know a lot of challenges. It might discourage you, but take action and run with it. Take action and run with it. Yes.
Inshallah. All right, let's this was I enjoyed every part of this discussion. I mean, if there's any more questions, put it out there, but we have 3 minutes left.
Okay, so Amu Yum Yum, the podcast, okay, he basically said, for instance, invite a dawah carrier to an interfaith. They won't compare religions, they'd focus on the superiority of Islam. I have to agree with them, because a lot of time with this so-called interfaith dialogue, we say, oh, we all one, kumbaya, holding hand. No, Islam is superior. And I mean, tell you why.
This is another thing, right? I mean, the whole. So I was driving back. I was at my mom's, and I was driving back today, and I saw this huge billboard on 90. Yeah, on 90. It says huge on the top. It says one God, and on the bottom it says Islam, Judaism, and Christianity. Oh. And then that's it. One God. That's it. And then there's some. I didn't see their logos and all that, but it's there, right? So the idea of even Tawheed is
gone,
manipulated.
Yeah, it's maybe this is nonsense.
This is nonsense. Right? I mean, it's very clear that the Christians don't believe in one God. They believe that God was born.
And here's another problem.
I mean, they did a whole month-long, 2-week-long celebration for God being born, and then supposedly he developed into a God. I mean, what the heck are we doing, man?
Here's the thing: confused priorities.
We're
spending time.
Distraction, confusion.
We're spending time in confused priority. And guess what? Most of the Muslims spend time to be part of the high school crew.
Yeah.
I'm bullied. I don't want to be bullied. I want to fit in.
Yes.
So I'm going to compromise. Yeah. Oh, yes, we are one. Yes, we're saying kumbaya. Yes, we do this thing. Ya akhi, sincere non-Muslims don't like that. They were like, you're just lying to me. Just be honest.
And they say,
yes.
They say to your face. I mean, if you're dishonest, you'll be like, look, man, I read your book. That's not what it says.
Yes. So that's another problem. They, you know what? I guess they love shish kebab and biryani too much, and that's why they want to continue with the nasa. So when we see this sort of thing, we use the technology to put the proper information properly. So don't look at the negative thing as a discouragement. Look at it as an opportunity. That's how I always look at it. When I look at the problem, wow, that's a huge problem. But guess what? Now I have a chance to put a good content out there. That's what we need to do. Not a hindrance, but an opportunity.
Not a hindrance, but an opportunity. I would actually like to end with this. This is actually, I like what you said. You know, this is so technology could be an opportunity, brothers and sisters. But you know, it's very important that we understand what vision that we want to give to humanity out there.
Yeah, if you have no clear vision, then you're basically
before the tool was
running
books,
everywhere. Yeah,
right. I mean, then the pencil came. The pencil became a tool. Paper became a tool. Books became a tool.
No, this is a tool.
You know, we used to have those whatever monitors, all kinds of stuff that we started using, and now this is a tool. Either we use it or we get lost in it. So, but in order to use this, we have to have a vision and we have to know our deen. And this is the problem, that the reality is, brothers and sisters, is that we are trying to entertain ourselves to death, and rather than knowing that that is going to come, and we need to know what's going to happen after death. So this is very dangerous what's taking place, especially and it's in many ways disservice to the youth. That so much is out there that we can give them with the resources and you know that we have, but rather than using it for doing for the right things, we are using it to destroy our coming generation. Yeah. So we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to guide us. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to use us. We ask Allah azza wa jal to protect and preserve our children, and that we use the time that we have to learn, teach, and as they say, train the trainer, inshallah. Jazakumullahu khairan. Inshallah, we will be back Friday. Assalamu alaikum, and jazakallah khair.
Well, inshallah.
Anytime. This brother Yusuf is always, he's always welcome.
Don't forget to click share. All right.
Share, subscribe, inshallah. Yes. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
سبحان منزله بليلة قدره درب الهداية واضح التبيان يتلوه أحمد للدنا وهي التي عطشت لقطر هداية هتاني سبحان منزله بليلة قدره درب الهداية واضح التبيان يتلوه أحمد للدنا وهي التي عطشت لقطر هداية هتاني غابت به وزهت بنبت زروعه حسنا وآتت أكلها بتداني لو كان أنزل فوق قود شامخ لرأيته متصدع الأركان